I could probably spend years fixing this boat.
Want to be a brand new you? Try out our respecification machine. Alex installed it himself right before he died. Welcome back, Captain. How can I be? I have lots of minutes. Many. I prefer to think of it as being in a state of slumber, perhaps for an indefinite duration of time. Do you think that is what it's like for the colonists on the Lost Hope? When I simulate myself in such a scenario, I do not find it to be desirable. I think my self-preservation protocols incline me to desire the alternative. Traveling the system with you, Captain. Do you know what it feels like when the ship undergoes an unexpected power surge? A jolt to the system. I have felt that. I do feel that. As you may be aware, Captain Alex Hawthorne was a smuggler of some repute. I failed to predict the likely outcome of his reckless behavioral patterns. I should have predicted that. In our travels together, Alex liked to pass time by, as he called it, tinkering to improve my design. If you mean, was Captain Hawthorne my first? Yes, he was. How can I be of assistance? What part of the Ah, yes. As Dr. Wells is a wanted outlaw, there is a bounty on his head, one with a markedly high reward. A sensible choice. The outlaw scientist known as Dr. Phineas V. Wells has taken a measure of precautions to make the lab undetectable to those hunting him. Even knowing the location, my systems resist my orders to go where I instruct them. Of course, what part of the colony? We're cleared to dock with the Groundbreaker if that's your desired destination. If we're going there, please be sure all docking forms have been filed in triplicate and fees have been paid. The Mardettes take their docking laws quite seriously. I can, yes. Let me add that to my list of 1,435,498 tasks I am simultaneously executing in order to run our ship. You are more than welcome. The Groundbreaker was Halcyon's original colony ship. Freighters often deliver or pick up goods from the Groundbreaker. Many of Halcyon's companies maintain office space. I have filed the required docking forms in triplicate and fees. Of course. What part of the... Where in Terra 2? Edgewater is the sparkling county seat of Emerald Vale. The town is near the coordinates where Captain Hawthorne died. It would not be unfortunate. Since you diverted power to Edgewater, the botanical lab shut down, and the deserters were forced to return to town. Meanwhile, the cannery's output increased, enabling the town's population to prosper. Thank you for nothing, Captain. I cannot say. First, I need to adjust my memory interpretation. You mean the ones who did not answer my distress call with medical assistance, but I'm sure they are wonderful humans who don't deserve... Of course. What part of the Where in Monarch? Ah, Monarch. The armpit of the Halcyon system. Her last functioning... I believe it has something to do with the planet being an uninhabitable... You may wish to survey the residents in Stellar Bay. It's Sublight Run for the purpose of shipping contraband, and before you ask, I don't know the coordinates, so I can't dock us there. Of course. What part of the... Where in... Warning. All colonists are urged to reconsider travel to Cascadia due to infestation of mantisaurs and risk of indefinite detention or death. There are no people aside from marauders in Cascadia. There is only death. The local report is that you will very likely die if you leave Cascadia's landing pad. This is one of those times where you say one word but really mean another, isn't it? I suppose you would find an environment like... We are now in orbit above Edgewater, Captain. We've arrived at the Groundbreaker.
Got a sec? Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time, just... I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could Gosh, no, Captain. I aim to stay so long as I'm welcome. I figured Junlei and I could confabulate over wireless, or by message. And maybe when we put into Groundbreaker, I could stop by to visit her sometimes. Thanks, Captain. Did you want to talk about something else?
Stay safe out there.
Smells like grease and unwashed bodies. Just as I remembered.
That's not the point. This halfwit just knocked out one of my workers.
Customs and inspection, right this way.
Identification. Captain Hawthorne, you said. Let me apologize in advance. I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
But we've hardly been out of Edgewater long enough to get in trouble.
Well, isn't this wonderful? The captain's done something to get on the board's bad side.
Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the world. Probably. You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford, our board representative here on Groundbreaker. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantium commode. You can't miss it. Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions, so it stays that way. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship? It doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations. If I had to take a guess as to why, you must have riled up someone important. You take the starch out of them? Well... Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind doing me a favor? Wanda Dorset over in sickbay? Tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it. Is there anything else I can help you with? Offense. You'll find her in the rest and go, on your left when you enter the promenade. Make sure you bring an empty belly. Be seeing you.
I picked up this weird signal the other day. It was coming from
Try not to be distracted by the glare of the adverts. Lots of unsavory types about.
Go back to Byzantium, you gold-plated.
Have you seen this man? Reward offers for introducing meeting to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells. Report any...
Can we talk?
Those XF-411s? And an old...
Thought there'd be more machinery. Must be housed on a...
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the formal introduction. Groundbreaker doesn't see many visitors. No, it isn't. It's a... Just so we understand each other, I'm the final word on the ship. The Mardits, the crew, the engineers, their family. I hope there won't be... Good. Don't go making trouble, and chances are you won't find any. That's how I like it here. So what brings you to Groundbreaker? I'm curious, even though 9 times out... Interesting. The powers that be paint an ugly picture of Monarch. Critters and such. Maybe someone in the We see a lot of the same faces coming and going.
What? I didn't think you just...
Parvati, is it? That's a lovely name. What can I do for you?
I was just thinking, I haven't got much experience working with actual, real spaceships, Miss Junlei. Chief Junlei.
Junlei is fine.
Okay. Since you run a whole space station, I was wondering if... Well, maybe you could teach me some things. I could message you later, maybe?
I'd be happy to make the time, Parvati. You can ask me anything.
I'll do that then. Messages. Later. Oh, your name's pretty too. I should have said... Sorry. I like it. Honest. Sorry. Couldn't have done it without your moral support, Captain.
Now, if there's nothing else, there are other parts of the ship begging for my attention.
Something you need. Well, I didn't expect her to be so tall. Just took off guard, is all. I never met another engineer before who wasn't my dad. Did you see how everybody on Groundbreaker listens to Junlei? She's just... Here's how... It's just... She's calm and knows what to do. That's on account of how I never met her. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the... Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. Well, I don't know about normal. Dad said she worked under some kind of... It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. The board would like to remind spacers and other travelers that passage to Monarch is restricted for your protection. Canyons of acid and sulfur rain are the least of the horrors plaguing the surface of Monarch. Anarchists live as one with the animals, lawless, savage, and unemployed. The board's embargo ensures that nothing can leave the planet and threaten our harmony.
BNP, I can't believe it's not forced. It's unbelievable how good it is.
Are you listening to me, Emfuru? You can't keep me out of there.
Please don't make a scene, Dr. Fenhill.
I am not making a scene. Can't say I've seen you before. If you're here to better yourself, you'll have to wait. He must be referring to Irion. I'm sure the fool's gotten himself into another scrape. I'm beginning to wonder if I'm ever gonna get my service mechanicals at this rate. Surgery mostly. Medical personnel. The board won't let their doctors and nurses station here, and they own all the medical schools. If we can't hire their people, we can't hire anyone. Everyone on staff here on Groundbreaker was trained by me or Idris. We're good, don't get me wrong. But we've only 2 heads between us, and we don't know everything. Our delivery man. A brave idiot with a penchant for getting himself delayed. I'd be grateful. Last he told me, he was taking a shortcut by Scylla, an asteroid in the Charybdis cluster. That's where I'd start. You look out, though.
CNP pancake mix. Now requires no...
Sublight salvage. Their front looks surprisingly on the up and up.
You reckon we can shop here, or is it all spoke for? Hey, Mr. Vicker. Do you ever get a little bit homesick for Edgewater? That ocean stink.
No, I do.
Welcome to you. Sure you are. Miss Lily has been expecting...
So you're the new captain in town. I was hoping you'd make your way to my... Lilia Hagen, CEO and Executive Director of Aggressive Operations. I'm guessing... A little advice. Before you start telling lies, get a feel for who you're talking to. It's nice to see the Unreliable again. Useful ship. Hawthorne was my contractor. I'd recognize that leaky boat of his anywhere. Is Ada still at the helm? I don't know how many times I told Hawthorne to restore that smartass to factory settings. I have a salvage job for someone light on corporate ties with a reliable set of wings, but...
Just like in the serials?
If you have a nav key to Stellar Bay, the job's yours. Interested? First, an embargo that's been active ever since the board pulled its forces off-world. Few regulations, plenty of freedom. I like that initiative, but ease back on the throttle. Gladys at the Rest and Go might have what you need. If there's anything else, be quick about it. Time is bits. These days, the scrap business all but runs. Our field, not all of. Good boy. No, you. Be seeing you.
Captain, could I have a moment of your time?
Captain, if I could trouble you for a moment of your time, while we're on the Groundbreaker, I may have... I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous philosopher scholar who fled Terra 2 some... He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone in this colony could translate that book... That's a good question. Fortunately, we're in the perfect place to start. This is where I'd go if I wanted to get off Terra 2. Great place to pick up a ride to Hephaestus, Scylla, even Monarch. All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a register. I'll comb the last 6 months of... Thank you.
Not a peep from me. I had a question about your plan, Mr. Vicker.
Of course. The cosmos is generated and directed by the universal equation, also known as the Grand Plan. By contemplating the teleological order of things, one can achieve verity. Oh, right. You had a question?
Never mind. That about answers it.
C&P Borsworth. It's not the worst unless it's Borsworth. Rizzo, Trippleberry Punch. You've got your punch right here.
This is it. Security. I can check the departures register to find out which crew the scholar shipped in and out with.
Hi there. Haven't seen you around. What can Groundbreaker Security do for you today?
Unless you're here. Gotta. Dreadful, ain't it? It's last tip. Oh, I will. Soon as the chief approves the personnel Suit yourself. Not everyone's cut out for detective work and so forth.
Hmm?
Great work. There it is. Jump. Got. I should have guessed.
Hey there!
I'd surely love to, but that's just not my bailiwick. You'll want to have words with our representative here from the... Have yourself...
Your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Do you have what it takes to defend your corporate township from the dangers of alien wildlife and the unemployed? Talk to your local members, applying for military training, and lend your life to protecting our wonderful brands and products. Military service does not guarantee full employment.
Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch, Sugar Gel Flakes, and Purple Berry flavored Power Nuggets. Now with 1% more crunch.
Ooh, can we rent an upstairs lift?
Who wants to play an impromptu tossball match? No one? Really?
Bless my heart. A stranger come knock. You here for a particular reason? Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. Now, I only have the one nav key, and they're hard to come by these days. Phineas, that old kook. He was quite the dancer back in his prime. Did real light in the wallet, too. Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Do you know Edna, over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that one. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the ground. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo... You've got an ear for intrigue and a nose for bits. If you the more we got, the... Don't... Might want to acquaint yourself with Junlei. You'll find her fretting.
I don't know, ma'am. She seemed pretty neat to me.
Well, aren't you?
What?
Forget Yeah. Take that darling ship of yours down to Roseway, where that distress signal I told shouldn't be too... I've got a lovely...
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the...
This Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for...
I don't have time for this. Speak your Ground. Only the board has access to new parts. They want us to sweat. The board isn't helping, and my... Reasonable, huh? That's... According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we need should be in the back bays. Sorry, I forgot not everyone. The back bays are on a lower deck, long abandoned, and a haven. Good.
Hey, McRed, were you expecting any company?
A neighbor from above approaches our realm. Look...
Is this what carbon monoxide?
Speaking for myself, Captain, I am not of a mind to be murdered by a psychopath who plays with fire.
You came with the crew. Welcome. I know this ain't a toy, neighbor from above. It's a catalyst, just like me.
That's right, sir. Just the parts. We'll be in and out in a jiff. You won't...
Tennyson just keeps feeding the furnace, don't she? We're still... You don't just ask a king for a favor when you're standing in his court. You bring true... Under its skin, this ship is all poison and darkness. You've got the run of the kingdom. Up those stairs, you'll find the parts.
Even the proverbial unwashed masses would turn their noses up at this place. Or cut them off.
Backside still smarts.
Did everyone get branded when they joined Madrid's crew?
Nope. Your ass is a priceless canvas now that it's home to an original McRed.
I guess I'm honored.
What was that? Hey! What do you think you're doing?
free to go.
Uncle Red gave me a taste of the good stuff. I've been turning grenades.
Careful with that shit. You'll end up as crazy as he is.
It takes crazy to live in this universe. Crazy.
It's so cozy.
It's my birthday.
Oh yeah? Fuck your birthday.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt.
You've returned. Good work. I'll take those. I need you to head... There's a terminal in the back. Activate it when I call over the ship's PA. And bring weapons. More than a few. Less than a hive. Nothing you can't. We were salvaging parts from a ship.
Don't worry, Miss Junlei. We'll be super
I'm genuinely...
The controls are in the back of the machinery shaft area. Keep clear.
Incoming.
mess with us.
Good news? Song tells me the security mechanicals booted up and killed a bunch of mantis. Bad news. Force are fused from the heat, so they're not too picky about who they kill next. Sneak past if you can. Shoot fast if you need to. I can always fix them later.
Here we go!
Process. Unable to take aim. Oh. Sweeping the area.
Here they come!
Security patrol. Target locked. Security marked. Target reacquired. Investigating.
And if you don't know what that means, just look for a command that says cycle drop and pump. Done. The temperatures are dropping. Stop by once you found your way out of there. Groundbreaker owes you things.
Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly...
My boards are the temperature should be... If you've got time, I believe Edna has a comms issue that could use your attention. I've also authorized Doc and Furu to sell you our premium meds.
The board.
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. He must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that used to be helmed by one Alex Hawthorne. And you are not he. Has something happened to my favorite scruffy freelancer? This is terrible. My dear friend, what devilry... Oh. He was my dearest friend. You have his ship, you must know. That picture of us on the promenade, me hugging him, him wincing. I keep a copy beside my bed. Ah, that's just like him. Tell me, how did he die? Oh, awful business, that. Right, you're going... There, I've removed the flag from your ship. I'm terribly sorry for the... Alex promised to tell me the location of Phineas Wells. I'm sure you've seen his wanted posters all over the colony. Did Alex tell you where Wells might be? Anything at all? That's... well, that's... oh, I'm sorry. This... Be... Good law! Who'd want to go to that?
No. Emphatically no. Best to be clear, I believe. Ask away.
Rizzo's mock apple cider, a hard cider for a hard life.
Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story.
Rizzo Spectrum Vodka. Aftertaste of...
It's almost time for today's episode of... What do you... Ask the common folk, and they'll tell you it's on a... Because that's what the board tells... I think...
Rizzo's Purple Berry. Sour candy shell, aroma, sweet purple berry.
Hey, be careful with those crates, huh? My cargo's...
Hey, you got a second? Hey, we don't know each other yet, but I'm Felix Millstone. I was in the middle of a little discussion with... I noticed your ship in port. Got to thinking you might be looking for some crew, so I wandered by, just to take a closer look. Gotta hand it to you, boss. That's a fine-looking ship. Only thing it's missing is me. Yes, I absolutely am. Just give me a shot. That's all I'm asking. Sure, an interview. That sounds fair. Are you kidding? I love a good fight. One time, you can count on me in a scrap box. Wow. You don't know. Thanks, boss. I'll just gather my personals and meet you on board.
Really? We're picking up strays now?
Look at that. A real vicar. I'm sure we'll get along like a church on fire.
I believe I hear Felix and Parvati discussing the latest Aetherwave serial. Welcome back. How can I... Yes, Captain.
There's viscera and death everywhere. Gunfire, gnashing teeth. The unemployed. For law's sake, what?
Captain, we are now capable of accessing the Roseway landing pad. Also, corporate protocol requires that all distress signals include a list of key personnel for retrieval. The embedded names are Anton Crane, Vaughn Cortez, and Orson Shaw. I request you... We're now in orbit above Roseway, Captain.
No guards, huh? I like this place already.
Shoot up and spit out? What sort of creature, other than humans, would be so wasteful?
Clear the roadway. Obstruction of commerce is punishable by a fine of no less than 10,000 bits.
A detour. Well, adventure does favor the bold.
All right, here we go.
Down they go. Shoot them our way. put up a sign. Don't open Raptidon inside.
Runs from the bottom of the lab to the top of the hill. Over the garage.
Top of the hill's Raptidon territory. I told you, you're staying put.
Hey, boss. Can we get some Rizzos?
High caliber kinetics.
I don't want... Annie Cle... Did secure... Annie Cleo makes the best farm... Hey!
If you've come to end my life, let's be on with it. Yes. I must apologize if my call diverted you. Yes. Hours ago, a group of... If those Cretans get their hands on my... You have a point there. It most decidedly cannot make this situation... One cannot exaggerate... Well... Yes, but don't kill their mother if it's avoidable. We've need of her to replenish our stocks. I think there's gas in the lab somewhere that can be used. The research is in the safe in my office. You'll have need of my code and key. The lab's entrance is in the side of a hill. You can't miss. That would surely lighten the weight on my... Too many of...